This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and around the world on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and our family of broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers. If you'd like to send us an email, it's very simple, xzone at xzoneradiotv.com, on all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV, and our website, xzoneradiotv.com. Now, I just have a little message before we get to our guest this hour. His name is Daniel Johnson. We're going to be talking to Daniel about an LDS guide to Mesoamerica and an LDS guide to the Yucatan. But before I get to Daniel, I'd just like to let you, the X-Zone Nation, know that we are going to be sponsoring an Indiegogo page helping to raise money for Sylvia's Haven. Now, Sylvia's Haven, as you all know, we've had Sylvia Anthony on the show a number of times. She's going to be back on with us this Friday night as well. Is a center, a home where homeless mothers or mothers with children who are victims of domestic violence can go. It's a safe haven. And it is not funded by any state, municipal, or federal authority. Everything is done by Sylvia and her volunteer staff. She's 84 years old. She's helped over 1,087 ladies with their families. That, in my books, is something paramount. So what we're doing is we are going to help and try to raise $250,000 on Indiegogo. We've also going to be launching a new website for Sylvia entitled Sylvia's Dream, because we want to help Sylvia's dream come true of having a Sylvia's Haven in each and every state. She's 84, God bless her. So we just want to be part of the solution, because so many people today can be part of the problem. More about that as we get closer to Friday. But as I said, my guest this hour is Daniel Johnson. He is the principal author of An LDS Guide to Mesoamerica and An LDS Guide to the Yucatan. His firesides on ancient American sites, culture, and artifacts that relate to Mormon beliefs are always well received. He is an active high priest in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and has taught Mormon gospel doctrine classes for 6 years. As a missionary in Argentina, he has had many opportunities to explain Mormon beliefs to others and has appeared on radio talk shows like Spooky South Coast in Massachusetts and Drive Time Live in Utah to discuss Mormon positions and answer questions. He works as a digital artist and teacher, and he's joining us from his home just north of San Francisco. His website is www.ldsguide.blogspot.com. And Daniel Johnson, welcome to the X-Zone.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
Great having you with us, Daniel. For people who are listening in parts of the world that have not had the experience and pleasure of meeting missionaries from the LDS, can you, in about 2 minutes, give us a capsulated version of the LDS and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
Oh, well, certainly, yeah. It's a Christian religion we are a worldwide church. Many people think of us as being, from the United States or American, and of course that's kind of where the center of things is. But we don't represent anything like that. We have members worldwide, and we are, like I say, we're Christians. We have a strong belief in Jesus Christ. We're different from a lot of Christians, though. We have additional scriptures, one being the Book of Mormon. That's why we're called Mormons. It's kind of a nickname by others. And the modern elements of our church actually began in the early 1830s with a person known as Joseph Smith. Many people may have heard of him. There are Mormon or LDS missionaries all throughout the world, helping people, sharing our message, and just trying to teach people more about us.
All right, Daniel, you and I have to take a 2-minute commercial break. Please stand by. Looking forward to spending the next hour with you, and I'm going to love to hear about your LDS Guide to Mesoamerica and LDS Guide to the Yucatan. Exonation Daniel Johnson is our guest, www.ldsguide.blogspot.com. And the books that we're going to be talking about tonight are available on Amazon.com and on many of the online bookstores as well as their publisher, Cedar Fort. The X Zone, a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard, Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until 2 a.m. Eastern, right here from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break in 2 minutes with our guest Daniel Johnson as we talk about an LDS Guide to Mesoamerica and an LDS Guide to the Yucatan. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, Then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled LITE.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Welcome back, everyone. We're speaking to Daniel Johnson this hour. He's the principal author of An LDS Guide to Mesoamerica and An LDS Guide to the Yucatan. www.ldsguide.blogspot.com is the website. And Daniel, tell me about An LDS Guide to Mesoamerica.
Well, certainly. Now, initially, I can imagine that this book and its contents would be of greatest interest to Mormons, and especially that are into particular topics here. But it all began by a couple of friends and I, who's my co-authors, talking about various sites in Mexico and Guatemala, things like that. And I had been down once before with my wife, visiting a couple of sites in the Yucatan Peninsula, and basically just kind of said to a couple of buddies of mine, we should just try it and do it. And I speak Spanish and had some familiarity around there, so we actually began to research some sites, find out some of the history and the background behind them, and to go and do that. So we did one initial visit to the Yucatan Peninsula and had a good time doing that, and really enjoyed the people, the places, and the sites we saw, and we even came across some unexpected ones. And then the following year, we decided to do sort of a bigger trip that was Mexico, Guatemala, and Honduras. And as we were doing this, we kind of thought it'd be great if there would be, someone had written kind of a guidebook specifically to these types of things. There are wonderful books, archaeological books about this area. There are also great guidebooks about it as well. But there, among the Mormon community, there is kind of an industry tourism industry of guides taking people down to visit these sites. And no one had ever done kind of like a site-specific guide. Here's what to see at this site. Here's how to get there. And we kept kind of hoping someone would do that. And eventually we said, well, let's just do it ourselves. And so we began to take the fruits of our research and the places we'd gone and kind of put it into this book.
I have to agree with you. Down at the Yucatan and through Mesoamerica, it's just a beautiful area. The people are super, and it's filled with archaeology. It's filled with history. And the people are so pleasant, and I would highly recommend anyone who's looking to go on a trip where they want to experience the ancient cultures, the ancient mysteries, the ancient architecture, the archaeology. Certainly go down to the Yucatan and to Mesoamerica. What's your favorite place in the Yucatan?
My favorite site there?
Yes.
Gosh, that's a tough one. And actually, I would have to agree with you as far as that area. And if people haven't been there before and they're kind of wondering what it's like, a bit nervous about it, the Yucatan is actually a great place to go because it's quite safe.
It is.
We're all set up for tourism. Even if you don't speak Spanish, because there's so much tourism industry there, you can still get around. There are buses that will take you everywhere. There are tours and on guides. Really a great place to go. We've been to wonderful places, say, in Guatemala, but it's much more remote, a little more dangerous. It requires a bit more of an adventurous attitude and also be able to speak the language. And that's kind of a whole different experience that we had as well. But with the Yucatan, it's a wonderful place. And perhaps one of my favorite sites there, it's hard to pin it down, but there's a site called Calakmul. It's at the very southern edge of the Yucatan Peninsula, very close to the border with Guatemala, the northern border there. And we actually did not know about it until we were in this little town and talking to people on the street and told us about it. And it's a really wonderful, beautiful site. We got up early one morning, drove down there out of our way to see it, and it's just fascinating. I mean, massive pyramids just rising out of the trees in the jungle. A huge site at its height. Could have had hundreds of thousands of people living there. Just really neat. It's also a wildlife preserve in the area, and so we really enjoyed that one.
We went down in 2012 to do research for a number of our shows and our TV productions on the the Mayan calendar, the end of the Mayan calendar, December the 21st, 2012. And I was wondering what your views were